This week, we talk the latest news in film and gaming. We break down Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man episodes 1 and 2. We talk about when the Fantastic Four trailer will debut. And Doctor Strange isn't in Avengers Doomsday, but however, now he is. Join us as we discuss all of this and much more. Hey.
Ayo.
We got some good Marvel stuff to talk about. You ready to jump into some Marvel media?
Oh yeah, we got so much to talk about. Let's go.
So, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Off to a strong start, I feel like.
Yeah?
Yeah. We'll cover episodes 1 and 2. Episode 1, Amazing Fantasy, which I feel like is the only proper title to really start off a new Spider-Man series. And then we got the Parker Luck. But before we jump into those, season 2 and 3 already greenlit.
Yeah,
So,
even before it even premiered, like it got
yeah.
greenlit. And I was so at first like I was like sitting here and you like told me that and I was like, okay, so the way that it was like I read it was that season 3 was greenlit and I was like,
we didn't even hear
but
about 2.
but what? But wait, what? Like
Right?
when did season 2 get like greenlit? And I was like having such a conniption, and then I like had to Google it and realize that season 2 and 3 have been greenlit, which I think is awesome. Like,
Yeah.
we had 3 seasons of What If, so I'm happy. I'm happy that
Yeah.
we're getting more of this because let me tell you what. Episode 1, it had me in it. I was already like,
Oh, yeah.
let's go. We got to see. So I guess we're going into like, the little
Let's go ahead.
breakdowns that we're
Yeah.
gonna do. But in episode 1, we immediately like open up and Peter's late for school and he opens his book bag and it's like the oatmeal that Aunt May
Yeah.
gave him as he was running out. And I was like, oh, that makes sense though, because he hasn't been bitten yet. But I was like, okay, maybe this is like a flash forward into a flashback, and then like I was like, how are they gonna do this? But no, they just like totally just like fucking tricked us, and it was amazing. I loved how they did it. I love this comic book feel.
Yeah, I love the retro animation mixed with the modern. Like
Right.
it's so amazing. Like I literally love it because you get like that feeling like you're watching the animation, but you're also kind of flipping through the comic pages of it. So like, yeah, it works.
So then he gets to school, and as soon as he gets to school, and he's like telling Aunt May bye because he missed the subway, the train, whatever. And
Typical Peter Parker style.
yeah, and he's just like, shit. And then like May's like, all right, yeah, I already knew you were gonna miss it. Like, go ahead and like hop in the car. Can't have you late on your first day. So like they drive over and they get to the school, and the first thing that happens is a giant green portal with the sling ring, like the Doctor Strange ring itself, like around it, and you're like, oh shit, like we're already getting Doctor Strange.
That quick.
It's so crazy. And then you see him fighting that like Venom version, like variant. And oh man, it was cool because it had like the webbed like feet and the like a clumpers, and he came
Yeah.
out with like his traditional like look, and you very quickly realized, even though when he was in the car with Aunt May, they had the Iron Man, and
Hanging
so
from the
you know
mirror.
that, yeah,
Yeah.
hanging from the rearview mirror. So you know that they have an Iron Man in this universe,
Mhm.
but they don't have a Strange because he said, "Oh, it's a magical
Yeah.
wizard."
Well,
Like,
I loved how they like trick you so many times too because
mhm. And that was another one.
like, "Oh my god, it's," and they make it sound like he's gonna say Doctor Strange. He's like, "A floating magic man?"
Yeah. Oh man, but that was hilarious. And
What's
then,
wild also though about this Doctor Strange is he's got leopard print on his gloves, right?
mhm,
And so then also the Venom that you're talking about that we showed, he's got like that fluffiness, almost
yeah,
like Craven did on his suit. And
mhm.
so it makes you wonder like what universe these even came from
Yo,
because
what if this Venom, real quick, what if this
yeah.
Venom killed his Craven in his universe, and that's why he has the
That is
fluff.
a Craven Venom. Oh my god, that I mean that would make sense. That actually is the only thing that would make sense. But what's wild is, or I don't know what if what if Craven was like not ended up being Craven the Hunter, but like was a Craven Eddie Brock, and he became Venom. And then Doctor Strange in that universe is the Craven the Hunter version, but Doctor Strange, style. That's why he's got
Huh.
the leopard print on his gloves because he's the one that goes after,
Oh,
yeah,
that's interesting. And then you get to see him with the 6 hands doing the thing.
yeah, yeah. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty neat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and
much
then
about this
he
animation work. So,
then he just kinda, like, disappears. He just goes away.
yep.
He
Yeah,
goes back
I
into the
didn't expect
portal
that to
and
hop
yeah.
in like that quick, right
Yeah.
in the first episode. So
Right,
I'm
but
like, all
that's
right,
that's how they showed that the spider came into Peter's universe because
right,
apparently, like, that spider wasn't supposed to be there, kind of like when we saw the Into the Spider-Verse, and how Miles Morales got bit and he wasn't supposed to have gotten bit,
right.
that kind of stuff,
But what if Spider-Man is pretty much all this is right here?
yeah, and, I love it. I'm
I
so
do
happy.
too. It's so great.
And
Uh,
then, we got introduced to Norman Osborn,
we did.
yeah, and the I don't know if you saw it, but there was a side by side of like um the 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 Tom Holland's Peter Parker meeting
Mhm.
like Tony Stark and
Yes,
this
yes, yes, yes.
one like finding his Norman Osborn and the side by side of like him holding that VHR whatever thing and like coming into the room taking off his earbuds and then um saying like who's like fancy ass cars outside
Yeah.
and
Well, he done
standing
took a picture with it too.
yeah. Yeah, so I was like, "Oh, man, like, this is really cool, like, I'm
Yeah.
really enjoying this."
Well, there's just so much of like what kind of like what you just compared of like from Tom Holland's, frame from frame pieces taken out, but
Yeah,
that's differently. But then also just there's other frame from frame things taken, from the comics, from some of these others. It's just it's a great collaboration of so many versions coming together and making their own version of it, but then kind of paying homage to all these different Spider-Mans.
yeah. But, I mean, like, so in episode 2 where we have, like, the Peter Luck where they're, like, rubbing on, like, the classic, um, like, you rub the trophy for good luck. It's the
Yeah,
same thing that they do for, like, Stanley Cup and, all the
right.
things. So, like, that was cute to see that, and then you got to see a new superhero that I don't think we've ever seen in a live action, like, movie. Now, I think we saw Butane or I guess, like, a fireman of some type,
Oh yeah,
and
in the game.
yeah, so you get to see him in
Yeah.
the game, but I wanna say that there was, like, well, no, because that's DC, Gotham. Okay, well,
No,
nope,
no,
never
no,
mind.
no. We got to see Butane in the Spider-Man PlayStation game real quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like I thought that we had seen like a TV series
Oh no,
one,
the
but
only
I
time
don't
I think we've seen Butane was in the game, I believe,
yeah.
and now we
Okay.
got to see him in this series.
Yeah. So you got to see like Peter go to his internship with Norman Osborn. The whole
Mhm,
reason why I thought that Norman Osborn reached out to Peter was actually because he already knew he was Spider-Man. Turns
mhm.
out he didn't know he was Spider-Man yet until
He
later on
changed. He
in the
changed in the
episode.
stairwell.
Yeah, he changed in the stairwell like a fucking nerd.
Well,
Nerd.
he's also like 15. I mean, or
I mean,
16 or something. So like he's probably not thinking
yeah,
that.
no, but he's smart and he's like going to this
Yeah,
like school for
yeah.
robotics, right? He's like he's
But sometimes your
you don't
instincts
think that there's cameras and
your
it's like a
instincts
very
of saving somebody overrides your logic of hiding your identity, I think. You know?
nah. Nah, he could have done that in an alley like all the other Spider-Mans did. Um,
But yeah,
but
yeah,
then we got
so
to see a female Dr. Connors too, and that was really cool, man.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm anxious to see too, like how many of these people we are seeing. I mean, such as like Lonnie Lincoln, who's also Tombstone, Doc Connors, who was a lizard. Like, I'm
Mhm.
I'm curious to see in the series, like how many of these are going to stay on the friend level with him, or how many of these will we get to see transform into villains?
Especially
Uh,
because we have 3 seasons, like, are we gonna
mhm,
see all of these character arcs that, like, we never
right,
really got to see for all these people before? Because when you see
right,
Tombstone, he's always been Tombstone, he's never
yeah,
been,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
He's never been pre Tombstone.
the pre-Stone.
Yeah. But then
But
also you get, this group here at Oscorp that he gets to meet. You have Amadeus Cho, who debuted in 2005's Amazing Fantasy number 15, who normally regularly fights alongside Kamala Khan and Miles Morales in Champions.
Mhm.
Then you also have there's Asha from Wakanda.
Yeah.
She there's who else is in there? I can't remember the other person's name.
I don't remember, but I remember seeing
I think
Asha sitting there.
Jean something. But
I don't
yeah, but yeah, she even
but
had like the bracelet on too,
yeah,
like
so
the
that's immediately before she
yeah.
even started speaking, I saw that bracelet
Me
and I was like,
too. Yep.
"No." And then she started speaking and she had that accent and everything, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god,
Yep.
she's
Yep.
from Wakanda. I like
Anytime there's a
this."
Wakandan or anything with Wakanda in a series, I get excited. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but like
Well,
that's like one
because
place
it's a
I would love for
possibility.
it to be real, and
Yeah.
I would want to go visit it.
Well, I think, like, for me, it's the possibility of, like, because we already know that we had Doctor Strange, right? And we have
Hmm.
Venom already that have been now in this series already,
Right.
like, off the bat. So, like, what is she gonna be? Is she gonna turn into, like, Riri Williams and
Hmm.
become, like, the Ironheart? Or is she going to be, like, a Black Panther? Or is she gonna bring technology to help, with Captain America and
Right.
building his new suit. And it like there's just like so many possibilities of what we've seen and how they can now build it in because they have somebody from Wakanda already there. And
Right.
I think that's why I'm like, oh, shiny. um
There's so many great things about this too, and like they did such a great cliffhanger too at the end of episode 2, just to leave you like on the edge, like begging for more,
yeah.
because it's Osborn showing Peter that, oh, I found you in the
Turns
stairwell with
around and
cameras,
completely.
and you're
Yeah,
you're
so you're
Spider Man, yeah,
Spider-Man?
yeah, and then
And
boom,
then
it
that's
ends.
yeah. Yeah. Oh
I'm like,
man.
oh, but we got what, 3 more days on the 5th. We get episode 3, 4, and 5 out, I believe.
Yeah, that's
So
exactly what it is.
I'm anxiously waiting.
Okay, so for me, I want to say that this, series is definitely a watch for all of the
Oh
people
yeah.
out there watching. Like if you haven't watched the first 2 episodes or you're waiting for all 8,
I can't
10.
remember. I think there's 8. I think it's
8 or
8.
10, I don't know. This is one of the 2.
Yeah.
If you're waiting for all of the episodes to come out, then, like, you can wait or whatever, but I do definitely recommend a
Oh
watch
yeah.
because it is fun.
It's
It's
great.
definitely like a what if type fun because, like,
Mm.
it's not tied to certain things, but it's still just a fun watch
Right.
to
Well, it's great too. Is
look
like you
out
don't
for.
have to, as we kind of talked last episode, like you don't have to compare it and like try to make sure is this properly canon.
Yeah.
Like it's like sweet. There's all these characters. Let's just sit back and enjoy this, and let's have fun with it. And that's what it is. That's what it's doing.
If
And
we get
in
3 seasons of
it,
this, do you think we're gonna get, like, a Fantastic Four? Like,
I don't know. I hope
are we
there's
gonna
all
get
kinds of
Reed?
stuff we get. Like there's just endless possibilities. I mean, with
Mhm.
this being the way it is, and
Yeah.
we've seen before the plethora of animation of characters that are to come in this, and I can't wait. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
Like, is like, the ending of What If season 3 where they just had, like, all of those variants, like, do you think that they're gonna bring one of them back for this? Like, because we have 3 seasons? Like,
I don't
I have so many questions.
know.
But,
uh,
yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the series. I'm anxiously waiting for episodes 3, 4, and 5 and on the 5th, because they come out on Wednesdays, I believe.
right.
Um,
I'm also hoping that since these 2 and 3 have already been greenlit, that we don't have like the big gaps in between them. Like we
mm.
get a season of this a year. Like next 3 years, we get a season a year. That would be great. That
Yeah,
hope.
I wonder how long it took them to actually, like, make this because I know animation usually takes a little bit of a while to
Yeah,
make.
I mean, this was announced in 2020, I believe. But
Well, yeah, but they had
we had
name changes
well, we had
and
COVID, we had the writer's strike. I mean, we had a lot of factors to throw into that, so
yeah,
we
but I
can't base it
wanna
off that.
know, like, cool, they announced it, but when did they actually start working on it to know
Right,
shit
right.
it came out?
Yeah.
I wanna know
I don't
that
know.
timeline
Yeah. Between
'cause
all the different things and rewrites, it's probably hard to even really judge it, especially since
yeah,
they kind of
mm,
restructured the idea of
yeah,
it.
yeah, but, I mean, like, if they start it now
Mhm.
or if they started it, like let's say that December that it was done, right?
Right.
What if in January they started and they have now 12 months
Yeah, that would be nice.
make that next season, and then
Mhm.
it's done in December, has a release of January the following year, right, 2026.
Mhm.
And at the beginning of January to the end of December is when they have season 3 of 2026 to figure it out for 2027 release date. That would make sense to me, but I
Yeah.
just don't know how, like, especially because of how much Marvel has on its plate and the scripts and the, I don't know how long it's going to take, but
Right.
I am hopeful. I am hopeful.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm anxious to see the rest of the season because, like I said, it's definitely starting out super strong, super
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So
I want to know what else they're going to throw at us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing on the list that's 11 days away. We've secured our tickets. Brave New World, Captain America.
It's 12 days, right? Because it's the second. It
It comes
comes
out
out
on
on the
13th.
14th. Comes out on the 14th. It
Well,
has the
that's the
early show times of the 13th.
yeah.
Yes, but
13th is when I'm watching it. So
of course you are. Yes, I will. I will be working, and I will be going to go see it on the 15th. So
gotcha. Yeah. Anxious to see this, but anyways, apparently according to the direct, it's only gonna have one post-credit scene. I hope they make it count. Like as we talked about last time on post-credit scenes, the funny ones are great and comical, but if there's only gonna be one, I'm really missing the heavy swing in post-credit scenes that really just get you more anxious to look for whatever next project it is or where this could
yeah,
connect.
yeah.
So I
I
hope
think that
it's something like
I'm.
that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that, like, because we know that Avengers, Secret Wars, and Doomsday,
Hmm.
um, the other way around, but like we know that those are coming out. Like, I
Right.
wonder if this is gonna have like a tie-in to those, and we just aren't gonna know it until we see it. The same way that it's usually been, but it's actually like a hard hit and swinger, kind of like
Hmm.
at the end of the Marvels, where like, okay, well, we saw Kelsey Grammer as Beast, so
Right.
still
Well, what
waiting.
I tell you what I would like to see, and this is what I think it would be smart is all right. So they kind of changed it from King Dynasty to Doomsday, right?
Mm,
So we haven't had. I'm not saying we have to have the exact same build up, but you know how we did the slow build up to Thanos before we got Thanos, and most of that build up was through post credit scenes. I think it would be smart on their behalf because Avengers Doomsday is next year. Let's go
mm.
ahead and start building up the teaser of Doom in these post credit scenes.
Well, we
Don't
know that or theoretically know, supposedly, allegedly, that it's supposed to come in Fantastic Four, and
right.
that was
But
where he was supposed to
but we
start.
need more than that. I personally feel like we need more than that. Like we don't have to see Doom in a teaser for Doom. Like
Okay.
I mean, there was teasers for Thanos before we seen Thanos that didn't show Thanos. Uh, but like I don't know. I don't know. I just want to see some things to make us look forward to, and like I don't know. I
You
think that
want
would be
Captain
huge.
America to be good and for
Yeah,
people to
I
be
do.
talking
I
about
do.
it, and that's why you
I
want it
do.
the way you want it, and that's okay. That's totally okay. See, it says the 14th on there. Told you.
Yeah. Well, that's the official date, but it actually releases in
Yes.
theaters on 13th.
But anyway, I know that I'm probably not going to enjoy this movie, and that's okay. I'm gonna, go in with my
Why do you think?
expectations medium
Why do you think that you just immediately think that you're just not going to enjoy it?
because I'm not a Captain America fan. It's not because Anthony Mackie is Captain America.
Oh
It's not
no,
because
I'm not
any of
asking that.
that.
I don't think
It's
that.
literally just because I'm not a
But it's not
Captain
just
America
him.
fan.
It's not just Captain America in it.
Cool, but still, like, I just,
Yeah.
cool story, bro. But like, it's like that's just how I feel, and
Right. So
and I'm
I don't
sorry.
know if you did see, but ticket sales are actually doing good. Like for all the people
Yeah,
saying like, "Oh,
yeah, we
this is
talked
going to
about that
bomb."
last week, where
Yeah, yeah.
it's on par with like Civil War or Winter Soldier, one of the
Winter
two.
Soldier. Yeah.
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 Um.
And it's
So
actually
like,
still going it's still moving up. I think it's
yeah.
closer to the 118 million now from the 95 million, which
Okay.
is Guardians of the Galaxy 3 did 118 million. So it's almost up to the Guardians from 3 ticket sales right now, pre-sales. So for like
Yeah.
it's crazy for all the people that are out there immediately shitting on it, without seeing it.
I
For
mean,
sales to be on par like they are.
so in my mind, right?
Mhm.
Because I know where I'm at with it.
Right.
And it's not necessarily that I'm shitting on it, but
Right.
I am definitely not praising it.
Right, right.
So I know that, like, I've been talking about how I am not excited for this movie whatsoever.
Mhm.
I'm excited for the post-credit scene. Hopefully, that's
Yeah.
something that is worth my while, but I'm still going to go see it because I still want to
Oh,
see it.
yeah.
It's a
Well,
Marvel
you
movie. It's
it's just
a
part of the story. I mean, the storyline, so
right.
yeah.
But I mean, like, regardless, like, I care enough about Marvel, and I'm always gonna go see, like, a
Mhm.
Marvel movie in theaters regardless of how I feel about it. Like, at first, I wasn't really all the way excited about Fantastic Four. I don't know if you remember us talking about
Mhm.
it, like, last year, and when we
Yeah.
first brought it up, you were like, "Hey, Tay, how do you feel?" And I was like, eh."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now I'm like, "Oh, let's go!" But, like, so I have no expectation for this
Mhm.
movie. I don't expect it to be dog shit. I don't expect it to be, gold shit, I guess. I don't know.
You expect it to
Uh,
kinda coast on through.
right. So I
Yeah.
expect like, I have no expectations. You know how you have high, you have low? I have 0 expectations going into this movie.
Right, right.
So if it's actually
We
any
shall
type
find out.
of good, then I will be pleasantly surprised. And, of course,
Right.
we're gonna talk about it, probably
Oh
on the
god, yeah.
16th. So,
Most
yeah,
definitely.
but, like, that's how I go to go see movies. I'm always gonna go and make my own assumptions
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So, last week, we spoke on Benedict Cumberbatch saying, "Hey, since it rerouted to Doomsday from Kang, I'm actually not gonna be in Avengers Doomsday, but I'll be super heavy into Secret Wars." And then, obviously, we're working on, focusing on Doctor Strange 3 as well.
Mm.
Well, now he comes back and he says, "Hey, actually, I was wrong. I'm actually gonna be all up in Doomsday."
He said, "Oh, wait, I am in the next one. Don't believe
Yeah.
a word I say," or
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. "Don't believe
He said
anything I
literally, "Don't
say."
trust don't believe anything I say." He said he was mistaken, and he is gonna
Yeah.
be all in Doomsday. And so I'm like, "Okay, this is
And
wild."
he said
You
that with,
know
like, a smirk, so, like,
Yeah.
that, like, if people I don't know, man, like, say what you want, but I
Right.
feel like that is just as good of a press, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like, we're talking about this movie, like, same thing with, like, Captain America, we are talking about the merch or whatever, and we're
Mhm.
talking about the trailers, we're talking about the posters. There's not shit for this movie all yet,
Right.
because it comes out in 2026, like, May 1st, right? So,
Mhm.
like, we have a ways out before we're gonna get anything, but
It makes you wonder too, like, he's like, "Oh, that they told him to go back and say you were mistaken or whatever, so people don't flip out or trip out." But then also it's like, is he gonna be all in this, or is he just gonna be like in the post credit scene of it?
what if he just has a cameo?
That's what, yeah, it was a cameo or post credit scene.
'Cause he
Like,
didn't say that he was Doctor Strange in this, he just says,
right, right.
"I am
Well,
in
also
this."
Doctor Strange is pretty powerful, right? So
Mhm.
like it makes you wonder like what level he will have in this, because I obviously think he's going to need and have to be, and he said it, a huge part of Secret Wars because of his power status and what he
Mm,
can do, because Secret
yeah.
Wars is going to be insane. But like, do we need someone of that power status all through Doomsday as well? I don't know. We'll see. We don't even know what Doomsday's storyline and plot's going to be, so we have no idea. But it's just interesting, like how quickly he retracted that statement and was like, you know what, just don't believe anything I say.
Yeah. I think I love him. I think he's hilarious. I love him as an actor and
Oh
as a
yeah,
human
he's a great
being.
actor.
So right.
Yeah,
And so, like, for him to be like that and saying it with, like, a smirk, you know that
yeah,
he did that shit on purpose. Like,
yeah, yeah, more likely.
he's like, "Well, maybe
Um,
I'm not. Oh, no, 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 looks like I am. Sorry. Don't believe anything I say. Don't shoot the messenger."
so Fantastic Four trailer last week. It's hot and heavy all over the internet that more than likely it came from more than one source that it's going to release on Super Bowl. But now it's pretty much was, I think, on, what was it on? Do you remember? Anyways, it said it was going to be on February 4th. Good Morning America.
So I saw
Is
it
when
in a
it's
couple
actually going
of
to debut.
places, but I
Yeah,
saw it on the direct, and I
between s-
saw it on,
y-
like, comic book and yeah.
yeah, between 7 and 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, February 4th, which makes sense. I mean, FF for February 4th. I mean, it makes sense. Fantastic Four.
So
So
I was like, they call themselves the Fab Four. Fab Four, it's directly super close to Feb Four. So Fab Four, Feb Four.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense too. There's more than one reason. FF, Fab Four, Fantastic Four.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think this makes sense. I think we'll get like a small teaser on that day. I
Mhm,
don't think we'll get a full teaser trailer. I think
mm,
we may get like a quick teaser scene is maybe all we
okay.
get. And then I think that the actual full blown teaser trailer that's probably 2 minutes long or whatever will be on Super Bowl, but we'll see. But I'll be looking forward to it because also it was wherever it was officially put up for the Good Morning America, it's now been taken down.
It
Uh
was like in their programming that they're like, hey,
yeah,
so this
yeah.
is
I,
like
I
what our
think that
schedule looks
accidentally
like.
got leaked. Like they
Yeah,
accidentally put it up there. It was supposed to be an initial surprise. So
right.
we'll find out and
But
see.
but also Marvel hasn't come back and said anything about it. They just like
Right.
took it away and didn't
Right.
say shit.
Yeah.
So like
It dissipated.
all right, that
Oops.
sounds like it accidentally got leaked
Yeah, somebody
and
messed up.
right, and now they're like, well, do we just say that it's not gonna happen and that way
Mhm.
it's like we're lying or we're like keeping things in the dark or
Right.
are we just gonna roll with it? And I think they're just kind of like, let's just take it away.
Take it away. We're gonna still do our
You didn't see
thing.
anything. You
Yeah.
can't see me.
We'll
So
make
like,
we'll make the internet chatter. It's free promo by doing stuff like this too. Let's be real. So,
yeah. But
uh,
also, the Super Bowl, Marvel has talked about the Super Bowl is going to have two of their movies. They're going to actually like promote two of their movies,
and we
whereas the last Super Bowl, it's only been one for the past
right,
couple of Super Bowls, and we have three movies coming out this year because the Super Bowl's on February 9th, so next Sunday.
right. So which
And
two do you think?
I'm I think that they're gonna do a Captain America because
I do
it's gonna
too.
be so
The
close,
heaviest push right
and
before the release. Yeah.
because we already have, like, a couple of, things already going for Thunderbolts, I think that
Mhm.
it is going to be Fantastic Four,
I think you're right.
um, just because we haven't really heard anything, and then after the Super Bowl is when we're gonna hear more
Mhm.
things about, um, Thunderbolts, and that isn't to say that they aren't gonna, like, do, like, the Thunderbolts aren't gonna be in, like, some type of ad, like how
Sure.
Captain America is like super into like Tide right now
Yeah,
or
yeah. Tide,
whatever.
the Baskin Robbins, the
Yeah,
shelter
yeah,
home insurance. Yeah.
right. So like, maybe that's how
Mhm.
we're still gonna see them during the Super Bowl, but it's not gonna be directly about the
Sure.
movie,
I
you
think
know?
too that like once we get 3 weeks in of Cat being in theaters, like say the first week in March, I think first week in March, that's where they're going to start hitting hot and heavy on the Thunderbolt trailers because that comes May 2nd. So
Mm,
I think that's the first week in March is where we're going to start seeing Thunderbolts plastered everywhere. But yeah, I think you're right though. I think it's going to be Cap 4, the heaviest push right before the release, and
mhm,
Fantastic Four. I think that's when we'll get our first full length teaser trailer, which is
yeah.
wild because like Marvel teaser trailers used to be 30 seconds, and now the teaser trailers lately have been like 2.5 minutes, like almost like regular full blown trailers.
Yeah, I was like, would you call it a teaser trailer then if
Yeah,
it's like
well,
2
they're call
minutes?
they're calling it teaser trailers because like your
Mm,
first initial showing, video showing is called that, but it's wild how it went from like 30 seconds to like 2 minutes now. Well, I'm not
mm.
complaining by no means, but
It's just more data. It's more data
right,
for me to
right.
watch.
Let's see. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, so Scooper, my time to shine. Hello. Says that Jack Champion is in talks of being our new Cyclops. And let me tell you, with that being said, and this being the X-Men MCU reboot for Cyclops, kid's young.
Mhm.
So I feel like, and Cyclops is one of the leaders. I mean, one of the team leaders of the X Men.
Yeah.
So I think we are definitely going with the reboot of a starting out younger, which I think is smart. Like if you're starting out and you're going to do a mutant saga or whatever,
Mhm.
and you're going to do, I mean, shoot, 10, 15 years of mutants. I think this is smart to start off with a young team. And that way we actually get to see with no issues of these young, actors, evolving and progressing and as their
Mhm.
character does too, and it makes sense and they can keep them on with no issues, no problems. So yeah, it definitely, if this is true, obviously, My Time to Shine Hello is kind of a 50-50, hit and
Yeah,
miss. They
but they're
they
also
have a
just
lot. They have
considering.
yeah,
Like,
they
they
have a
didn't
lot.
say
They
that
get a
he
lot
for
right.
sure. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, and it also, I mean, they may never come up with a good negotiation. But if this is even at all someone they're looking at, it gives you the
Mhm.
mindset of how young they're looking at, though.
Yeah,
So,
and where they're probably trying to go in the timeline. This is probably before he even starts leading the X-Men, and maybe it's more like when
mhm,
Charles starts up the school and is in getting all of the mutants and
right.
teaching them, from the beginning, and then
You think
after
you
he
you think
has, like, the
it'll
first year or 2.
Do you think it would almost be like, I mean, almost kind of like obviously not a copycat, but an X Men First Class type thing? We get to see the very start of the school coming together,
Mm,
how the X Men first get, banded together, the first team, or do you think like the school will already be started and initiated, but then we get to see maybe the banding of the team, or the team's already
yeah.
started? What do you think, or what would you like to see?
So what I think and what I would like to see are kind of like the same thing.
Okay.
But I think that the school has already started because we already know
Mm,
kind of like how it started. We have the
right.
X-Men 97 as well that's kind of showing like a little bit of that, like of the school already being, up and running. Um, so I want to say that the school is already started and Xavier already has like his first couple of like graduate classes and
Mhm.
he's kind of more established and now is when he's going to get introduced to the whole Scott Summers, Jean Grey, Storm, you know, class and then that's how we're going to see the start is like that
So there is no
parallel.
team created then yet, it's just a school.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
And
Because Cyclops
from
is the part of the first team, so
exactly. So and that's why I'm thinking that, and especially because he is so young, that
mhm,
I think that they're already gonna have the school started because Xavier has to be somewhat a little bit older, right?
sure.
So school has to be started and we are on that track of making this X-Men team, but the team isn't made yet.
Right. I
That's
like
what I'm
that.
hoping. I'm really
I'm
hoping.
good with that.
Okay.
I would like to see a origin, but not a full-blown origin like you kinda described.
It's
Uh,
more of the origins of the team that we've never
right.
seen.
Yeah. Yep.
We've
No, I like
seen
that.
the
Well, I mean, we've
origins
seen
of the
it in X-Men
school, we've
First
seen
Class, but that's that
but it's
version
a
of it.
different team.
Hmm? No, X-Men First Class is the start of the very first X-Men team.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because he does have okay, because he
Yeah.
has Havoc and everything. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I
Like
get I don't know, because it's just so
uh,
weird to think of that and then think of the original X-Men
mhm.
and see the age gap of James Marsden and Sir Patrick Stewart
Right.
and be like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
they were the same age." Like,
Yeah.
"No, clearly not." I don't know, it's like it's weird in my brain. Um Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping more of the lines of they haven't made the team yet.
Yeah. I'm ready for it. I think, man, like as much stuff we're getting, I think it's I don't know. I'm just curious how much before like Secret Wars, how much we're going to get teased of other universe X-Men, and
Mm,
like if that's going to come into play at all after Secret Wars, or if these are just a whole bunch of paying tributes and stuff to different X-Men and X-Men we left from the comics, other movies and animations and stuff. And then after Secret Wars, it's just going to be complete. All right, we're done completely with all of that, and here's a fresh, full blown, reboot of X-Men, because we get the Beast, we've seen you as you're speaking at the end of the Marvels and stuff. But
mhm.
then I don't know. It just makes me wonder like what route they're going to go, and if this
Well,
is all going
Kelsey
to connect
Grammer
any
is
or
a
not.
part of the original Fox
Right,
X-Men,
right.
so
But his Beast that he was in the Marvels is not the Beast from the original X-Men, Fox X-Men.
oh,
Yeah, completely different Beast. That Beast
okay.
was more X-Men 97 accurate than it
Mm,
was, and nothing like from the Fox X-Men.
okay, okay.
But they used his voice. So
In his face. That's
yeah. I mean, it was
that's
all
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, they
Um,
gave him, like, the teeth on the outside, like, he was
mm,
completely,
it's
CGI
more comic
from
accurate
from,
is
the X-Men 97, X-Men 90s series,
yeah,
so
yeah.
especially
I
with the
don't know.
lab coat, so
I don't think that they're gonna continue to use him as Beast. I think that once Secret Wars is done, that they're gonna
yeah.
be like, All right,
all
that
fresh.
all of that
Hmm.
is done, and that's when we're gonna see Jack Champion come as Cyclops if
Hmm.
he does actually become part
Right,
and
right.
do the things like that. But that's what I'm thinking.
I think that would be good. I mean, like let's pay the homages and the respects to all the random stuff we love up till Secret
Mhm.
Wars, because
Yeah,
Secret Wars you can mesh whatever you want together. Let's be honest. And
yeah.
then after Secret Wars, yeah, let's go back to a new Avengers team and X Men,
Mhm.
heavily focused on X Men. But you can't ever get rid of the Avengers now that
No, we have like
some
young
of it
Avengers
established.
that is supposed
Right,
to
right.
be
Well, I mean
happening.
that, and then however else, I'm curious to see who's all part of the new Avengers team that we get come Secret Wars and who survives. So,
Mm. Well, I think
which
we're gonna have
well,
like
we'll have them in Doomsday actually, more likely. So
yeah, because we have like Hawkeye, Hawk Girl, Hawk. Whoa!
we have Kate Bishop.
Thank you. Her and Yelena as like the new Black
Black Widow.
Widow.
Hmm.
Um, so
But we have Thunderbolts too, though. She's in
I,
Thunderbolts. Will she stay in that
yeah,
team, or will that team ever mesh up? Because like supposedly the rumors is in Thunderbolts is at the end of Thunderbolts they will become the new
like Dark
Avenger,
Avengers.
like Dark Avengers
Yeah,
team for
yeah,
the government or whatever. So
yeah. That that's what I've heard too, and that's why it has Thunderbolts with a little asterisk on it, like we've
right,
talked about. But I don't know, man. Like
yeah. There's
I don't know.
so much in the next 2 years that's going to happen.
Yes, and it's gonna be great. It's all
Yeah.
gonna be great.
So speaking of something that's been talked about since 2020, Armor Wars. Oh man, poor Don Cheadle. So Armor Wars was mentioned in 2020. It's going to be a series. Then come 2022, it was mentioned that all right, it's not going to be a series. It's not going to be a movie. And now Daniel Rickman, who's usually a pretty solid source, is saying it's not canceled, but it is on hold. And the more likely is it's going to take place now after Secret Wars.
Eee.
Yeah.
It's just
So it's
like
like,
forever on the
man.
back burner.
Yeah. So this and Blade, I think, are in the two scariest places for the MCU at the moment, because they've been talked about for so long and
Yeah.
nothing's came to fruition. But the reason that this has had its issues, especially now, and it's even put and push more back and on hold, is because of the backlash of Rhodey's character from Secret Invasion. Because we see at the end of Secret Invasion, this whole time Rhodey's been a Skrull, and he's still in his hospital gown and can't walk. Well, they're saying that he was taken since Civil War. Well, if that's the case, that means that he was a Skrull even in Endgame, and he was sad and crying and all this about Tony Stark dying, and so many people are pissed off about that because they're like, that makes no sense, that's stupid. And so yeah, they're putting that a little further on back. I think they're not
Yeah,
sure
I
how to
don't
deal
even
with that just
remember
yet.
who that is. I guess it's because
Who? What
I've never
is?
you said Rhodey?
Yeah,
Like,
Rhodey, Iron Man's right hand man.
see, I'm completely blanking right now on who that is. But
Yeah,
yeah.
War Machine, this silver Iron Man suit, and then they painted it patriotic for Iron Patriot
Yep.
and Iron Man 3.
Yep.
Iron Man 2, they were back to back
I mean,
fighting
you can
against
keep explaining
Whiplash.
it. Honestly, like right now,
Okay,
like
okay.
yep, it's not gonna connect in
Gotcha.
my brain until I
Don
see
Cheadle's
the
the one
show.
who replaced Terrence Howard from the first one, and
Yeah.
then went his right hand man the rest of them. But anyways, he's Don Cheadle's also the one who at Endgame was like, why can't we just go back in time and take baby Thanos and
I do remember this. I do remember that. I just don't really, I guess, remember his character and exactly like all of that.
gotcha.
But yeah, it's
So
okay.
it kind of wraps us up on Marvel.
Yeah,
You ready to jump into Star Wars?
I would love to.
All right. So we have had three different models so far in Legos of the Death Star 1 and 2. And supposedly Lego is working on a Death Star 2.
Ooh,
And this is not the picture of this is like the last one that came out. But
yeah.
it's supposed to be working on another one, and it is going to be at the beautiful price of $999.99. $1,000. So yeah, for all you Star Wars Lego fans out there, there's another Death Star coming. For that price, it better be pretty freaking epic. The
Okay,
la-
but like think about it, right? Like you got to see them putting together a Lego Death Star in Spider-Man.
Right, and that's the last version of the Death Star, the first Death Star that came out, and that one released, if I'm not mistaken, in 2016.
Mm.
So,
I
yeah.
mean, but they're all really expensive because the amount of pieces
Yes.
and
Oh, yeah.
everything that goes
Well,
into it.
like the one I just showed you, if you get on
Yeah,
eBay right now, people have that one for sale for like 3 grand because, like, you can't get it anywhere else now. Like, it's
damn.
because it's yeah, yeah.
I mean, I love like and now I'm just gonna have to go back and play some more Lego video games because that's how I scratch that itch. A $20 video game rather than $100
Oh, yeah.
or
Yeah, yeah.
sorry, a grand, not 100.
Whew. But, yeah, for those, diehard fans, there's another one coming, so add it to your list, start saving up.
Do they have
Let's
a date yet on like when they're expecting this to come out or not yet?
not yet. Mm-mm.
Okay, interesting.
Yep. I mean, there's not even no official pictures of it yet. I think
Yeah,
it's just one of those things, like, it's in the talks of working on it, so I'm not even sure if it's fully designed, but it's crazy that they have a price supposedly said. But, next on the list, Natalie Portman, as we all know as Padme or Queen Amidala, is supposedly rumored, uh, filming scenes for Ahsoka season 2. Uh, it's not official, it's all rumor.
mhm,
But fun fact, I did not know this. She did film some scenes for Obi-Wan Kenobi series, but they
yeah,
never made the cut.
yeah. They got cut out or something like
Yep,
that.
they
Yeah,
never
I
made the cut, but she
remember.
did film them.
Yeah,
But Ahsoka start shooting spring of this year, I believe, and it's to release next year. Also, Ewan McGregor is rumored to be in Ahsoka too. So they're saying that if we do get a scene with Natalie Portman and this ends up being true in Ewan McGregor, that it could be a Clone Wars flashback. So
yeah.
I think that works. I think that would be fun.
Especially because of where like Padme and Anakin are right now, of where they would be in the like Ahsoka timeline. It would make sense that she's still alive and stuff.
Hmm.
So I
Well,
think that would be.
well, I mean, Ahsoka takes place after the original trilogy.
But Anakin isn't part of the dark side yet, is he?
Yeah, yeah. Anakin,
Oh,
she's seen in Ahsoka season 1. She's seen
yeah,
when she was on that bridge. And
yeah, and they were like in her
it was
mind, yeah.
it was a test type thing. Yeah, and then they did flashbacks to Clone
Oh,
Wars and all that. Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
yep.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Like it's I definitely did watch Ahsoka. I'm not saying that I didn't. It just like for me it was hard to follow, I guess, because I didn't watch Clone Wars, I didn't watch Bad
Mhm.
Batch, and so I'm like trying to figure out where it was in the timeline. I thought I knew that it was between 2 and 3. Apparently
Right.
it's after 3. So my bad to all of our Star Wars fans. I am sorry. I was wrong. Um, yep. Sorry.
Let's see. I'm just gonna double check.
Okay. But I mean like if you're saying that like
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
remember them doing the
It takes
flashback.
place. It takes place after Return of the Jedi, after Episode 6. Just like Mandalorian takes place. That's when that takes place. It's Mandalorian takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Like Luke Skywalker is a Jedi, Anakin
Yeah,
like
yeah. Well, that's why we,
nemesis?
we see a scene of Luke Skywalker at a younger age with Ahsoka and Grogu. Remember as well, and Mandalorian.
Yep. Okay. I'm apparently all over the place with my news today, and yeah, I do not remember that. You said that was in Mandalorian though?
Yeah, we
Where
see
you saw
Ahsoka
that?
and Mandalorian, and we see Mandalorian, a younger Skywalker. Yeah,
Huh.
yep.
Yeah, I
But
don't
yeah, it
remember
all
that.
takes place after Return of the Jedi, Episode 6.
Okay.
Takes because it takes place in between 6 and 9 is where it takes place.
Okay. Okay. But she's like that old then?
Yeah, well, I
'Cause
mean, in Clone Wars, Ahsoka is a kid.
oh. Okay, okay.
Why when you see her going through her trials in Ahsoka
Yeah.
season 1, when it goes back to Clone Wars, you see a young Ahsoka who her master is Anakin, because Anakin
Yeah.
her while she was a kid.
Okay. Alright. That that's checking more now with my brain, because if she was hanging out with, like, Skywalker, in Skywalker, by the time that we got to see him in number 6, he was like, say for shits and giggles, like 25, where he really looked like 30 or whatever. But like movie wise, right? So okay,
uh,
that would make sense then.
but yeah, that
Okay,
kind of wraps us up for Star Wars. So
yeah,
starts up some educated wish.
let's go.
So I'll let you start this one off since you're probably the
Okay.
most excited. But like, yeah.
So, something that we got to see a couple of days ago. I can't remember where it debuted, but there was a Alien Earth like little teaser trailer that we got
Mm-hmm.
to see, and you know how we got to see like the whole dome of the xenomorph and with the Earth in the background, but this time you actually see like the spaceship like rocketing towards Earth, and
It, it
shit
it looks so fun.
shit's getting real.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be coming out in summer of 2025. And I'm excited. We do think that this is also going to be something that we're going to see, hopefully, another trailer for at the Super Bowl, like an actual trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so,
So I got a little 8-second clip of it.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Dude.
pretty intense. Like, it's a
Yeah.
short teaser, but it's intense.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, see, like, because it's the classic, like, alien feel where you see the xenomorph just like, like
Yeah.
crawling into the holes and stuff, and just oh man. So there's there wasn't any people on that ship. Like, is
Yeah.
everybody dead already? Like,
I
is
don't know.
this where we are?
I'm so ready for this.
Yeah,
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 and don't like
absolutely.
doesn't the thing say something like we found out we were safer in space or something like that? Is a there's somewhere with this it says that it's like, oh man, it just makes you
Yeah,
wonder like what's going to take place on Earth for them to say that, or what's going to happen to Earth.
yeah. I don't remember seeing that. Shoot.
It's like typed somewhere on some kind of like promotional stuff for them. It says,
Oh, okay.
and we come to find out we were safer in space.
I
It
think I
went,
do remember seeing that,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
which is wild because we see most of these alien attacks in space, so it just makes
mhm,
you like wonder, like in this, how bad is Earth going to get?
right, because, like, this is obviously before it lands on Earth, so does that mean that it's actually going to land on Earth, and then, no shit, now we're gonna have, like, a quarantined area of Earth,
I don't
and
know.
are they gonna nuke Earth? Like, I have so many questions.
But next on the list, we got Stranger Things season 5. They have wrapped filming.
Yeah,
They sit there and kind of showed us this picture here, and props to wrapping filming, which is
yeah.
exciting. So pumped for this. Uh,
They were all, like, so sentimental about it too, they were, like, so sad
well,
about it.
yeah, like most of the cast, I mean, have gotten so close, and like they've built in such
Yeah.
close connections with them. Like I'm not ready for it. Like I think it's smart to end on this season,
Mm.
and not go too long. But at the same time, I'm like, ugh, like it sucks. This is going to be the end of it, and we've waited so long for this season. But then they also teased, through this teaser up for promotions of this missing poster of Jane Hopper. So reward for information leading the location of missing child, $3,000. And I think it says something. Let's see, it says something on there about where she like was last seen, but don't it say something about like
Yeah.
her reward for her body, like dead or alive or
Yeah.
something? I can't remember.
I don't remember reading that. I
I don't
just
know.
remember them saying that, like, this is, like, where we last saw her, and this
Yeah,
is her name,
it
this
may
is
not
how
say
old she
that.
is or whatever. But, I mean, like, the fact that we keep getting trailers about like, little teasers about this, maybe
Mhm,
we're actually gonna get the first little 30-second teaser trailer as well
right?
for this during the Super Bowl. Super Bowl, make it happen.
Yes,
Next week. It's next
and
week.
another thing too that we talked about, in December that we're still going to do, we're going to structure it a little differently than we kind of teased in December. But we'll be doing a recap over all the Stranger Things. We'll do one special episode recapping over all the seasons, and it'll be dropping probably about mid-April.
Mhm.
So be on the lookout for that. it'll be kind of a short recap over all the seasons, so kind of brush you up to date before you jump into season 5.
Yeah.
Oh, but I guess some Final Destination news.
Dude, like we got the first look of Bloodlines and like the picture is amazing. Like look at those shards. You can see people's
Yeah.
faces in the inside of them, the jaw, the like how like the first shard that's over the lady's like where her eyes would be is like an
Mhm.
actual real and then it's like the jaw. It's
I'm ready.
just
I'm ready for this.
it looks so good. And we know we have this coming out on like May 16th of this year. So um I I love Final Destination, it always
Oh
unlocks
yeah,
a new fear.
yeah.
So this is something that's like I'm excited and ready to see this. This might be actually the first Final Destination that I get to go see in theaters.
Oh, I don't think I've seen one in theaters.
I don't think I
Oh, I
have.
never thought about that. Oh crap.
Yeah. The
Huh.
whole because I mean, by the time I got into the Final Destinations, I think
Right.
they were done like doing their thing.
Me too. Actually, I
Um,
think.
so
Huh.
like yeah, it was, like, my husband, like, he showed me all of them.
Hmm.
I think a majority of them. I don't know if it was all of them, but we saw the majority of them, and I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." And then I don't think I've ever actually seen one in theaters, but I'm telling you what, if they bring back that log truck, I'm gonna be watching like this. Like, I'm gonna watch on the screen like
I don't think there's a person alive when you pass by a log truck that this movie does not come to your mind. Like, even for people
mhm.
who may not even seen it, know about that scene though.
Yeah, bad. It's bad. Super bad. But we
Uh,
got some Dexter resurrection news today. We got some leaked photo sets of him. It looks like he was in New York.
yeah, yeah, filming in New York. There's one right there of Michael C. Hall. We
Mm,
also get a leaked photo of Harrison. Looks like he's working as a bellhop at the hotel. I'm not sure, if he's going to be if, like I don't know if this is like taking just a few months afterwards or whatever, but like if he's trying to track Harrison down and
mm.
trying to still guide him, or how's this going down, or if he thinks Harrison's like if it's one of those deals where Harrison's like went overboard and he's got to struggle with killing his son. I don't know. There's no telling how this is going to go, honestly.
So so in New Blood,
Hmm.
I'm assuming we got to see some stuff about Harrison, right?
Right. Yeah. Well,
Is
Harrison's all through it, the whole entire thing.
okay, so I know that like he
It,
saw
it,
his mother die and he was in her blood or whatever, like when in Dexter, right? So in New Blood, like how old was he? What like was
Where
he
you see, well,
killing
he's, I mean,
people?
he's like, yeah, yeah. You see
What?
that, yeah. So Dexter New Blood is about him trying to help Harrison and trying to guide him.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yep.
So he
And
was okay. So he was like the Harry. Okay.
mhm.
All right.
But
Okay.
yeah,
So this makes sense now.
it's
Why
where
you were saying that? I was like, what?
yeah, they reconnect in the show, and
Okay.
then he's been gone all these years, and
Mm,
so like he tries to reconnect and explains, why he's been gone and all this stuff, and
mm,
they butt heads and stuff.
yeah.
So yeah,
But, this is supposed to come out in June.
yep,
So, I mean, we're getting closer and closer. It's so
we
crazy that
are.
we have, like, Dexter Original Sin going on, and pretty
Mhm.
much as that's ending, you only have, like, a couple more episodes of that, and then you have,
Right.
like, what, 4 months until you get more Dexter stuff, and
Yeah.
then they already said that they're gonna do the Trinity spin-off series, and,
Mhm. With
um
John Lithgow.
yeah, so, like, you're just getting all this Dexter stuff, and that must be great.
If as long as they keep the quality up like they are with Dexter Original Sin. Like I hope they don't
Yeah,
get so like just caught up in just wanting to throw a whole bunch of material out there that they don't lose track of the quality. Because
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I mean Dexter New Blood was okay. Like I'm not gonna
yeah,
be like, oh my god, it was the best thing, but it was good.
mm.
But this Dexter Original Sin is just bringing it to a whole nother level that New Blood can't even touch. To me,
I'm
my
I'm interested also for, like, Resurrection because, like, like, I saw, like, a news article that was saying that, like, Batista's back as well,
mhm,
Angel Batista, because I guess he's, like, on the run from him still, and he's, like,
okay,
looking for him.
right.
Harry Morgan, I guess, is back as like a voice probably in
Right. His Dark
flashback.
Passenger. Yeah.
Yeah. You have Harrison as you saw, and then they have Uma Thurman that's supposed to be in this. She wasn't in New Blood, was she?
No, no. So Uma Thurman's supposed to be playing, I think, some like ex special ops person that's a security detail for some rich guy, is what she's
Oh,
supposed to be playing in this. So
nice.
yep, yep. No, this will be her debut in this, I believe. So I don't remember Uma Thurman at all. Uh, yeah, I'm excited. I'm so pumped because like, and only reason I have to say I think it's rich because of New Blood. Wow, Original Sin.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, did
So
you want to talk about Original Sin in the latest episode?
yeah, yeah. So that came out Friday, episode 8. It's Business and Pleasure is what it's called.
Okay.
And we talked last week about what happened when we find out that it's the police chief captain's
Yeah.
is the one that's doing it, and
Patrick Dempsey. Yeah.
it officially gets confirmed in this. Like you see him like knock the kid out with some stuff in the water, and then he takes his mask off. And you're like,
Oh.
okay, there's no wondering at all. It's definitely
Ah.
Patrick Dempsey. Do you see Patrick Dempsey in this episode? Like Dexter actually figures it out, as we know at the end. Well, the beginning starts off with him telling Harry, he's like, hey. And Harry goes off on him. He's like, you're insane. He's like, you're just wanting to go after and kill people, da 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 da. And he's like, you need to get a grip on yourself. You don't know what it's like to lose a kid, because
Mm.
we obviously know, Harry lost his first one. It was his fault because he wasn't watching him.
Yeah.
And goes off on him. And so then Dexter starts doubting himself. He follows the police captain. And you see the police captain, Patrick Dempsey, pay off some cartel with some money and gives him his kid's shirt that he took off of him. And he pays him to plant it in the house. And then they go bust the house. And like the police captain loses his shit in front of the team and shoots them up. And then, yeah, playing the role as a psycho. I
Mhm.
mean, nailing it. And then Dexter's like, oh, he knows. It's so freaking good. And
Yeah.
then Deb throughout this series has been like falling in love with this rich guy. Come
Oh.
to find out, she's like on the boat with him. They go on this run. And he's the son of like a drug lord or something, and they're smuggling stuff. And she goes to see what he's smuggling. He kicks her out of the boat and leaves her on an island out of the U.S. Yeah, Dexter. We get to see in this episode too the boat. Was it Slice of Pie that we see all through the original Dexter series?
Mm.
Well, the woman that's in Over Files that's always talking about, oh, your father, and he always gives her a donut in the original series.
Yeah.
We see a younger version of her, and she's always telling Dexter throughout the series, oh, anytime you want to borrow the boat, just borrow it. Come to find out, it's her boat. Slice of Pie he has in the original series is her and her husband's boat. He finally borrows the boat in this episode, so I'm guessing he eventually buys it off
Yeah.
of them. So that's where
Yeah.
the boat comes from, is actually from her and her husband.
That's so cool.
Yeah, there's so many things that tie in. It's
Yeah.
it's it's so great. But
Yeah.
at the end of this episode ends with the cartel and stuff finding out that Harry's been working with Dexter's real mom. And so they bust up in there, take both the kids, Dexter and his brother and the mom. It shows them at the very end in that
The
shipping
container.
container. And there's
Mm.
like 3 other people. They pull the chainsaw and they start killing people in front of them and the blood going everywhere. And she's like trying to cover their eyes, but Dexter's eyes are the only ones who see him through the fingers, and he's watching it all. And then it ends.
Mm.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think there's only 1 or 2 episodes left. I can't remember what the episode count is, but like with it being where it's at,
Yeah.
it's got to have just 1 or 2 left.
I think I remember hearing that it was 10, so I think you have like 2 more episodes if
Gotcha.
this was 8.
Because this whole season is like Dexter younger, but then every episode's flashbacks from when he's also a little bitty kid as well.
Mm.
So
Okay.
so you're getting 2 timelines in one story, which it's a good balance. It works out great.
Yeah. Damn. This
Yeah,
that's
it's a lot.
it's crazy.
I'm telling you, like, you need to watch it. It's so good.
I think eventually I'll get around to it, but like because I'm so far behind that I do know that I do need to watch this, but I do know that I need to see New Blood,
Hmm.
and then I have to watch Resurrection when that comes out in June. So like, ugh.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and now I have like Spider-Man that I'm watching, and I only have so many hours in my day,
right,
So,
right.
but yeah, it is a series that I do want to watch because you have how you're talking about it and how like passionate you are about it. It does seem like an actual series that is like worth the watch.
It is. It really is. We've got some more Odyssey news.
Yeah, so the Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, which is, originally Homer's Odyssey, but he's making a movie out of it. So it got some news this week that it's actually going to start production in March. So we're going to
Hey.
start to see probably some leaked photos, maybe, or
Mhm.
maybe some more data as to like more people coming on. The last thing that we got to see was Jonathan
Yep.
Berthal. Um, who's originally the Punisher, he got added to the cast. So we found out that this is going to start in March, and then it's supposed to be coming out in July of 2026. So um, I'm excited. I yes, I love Greek mythology,
So
and
I've never read the story, but just like knowing how much you like the book and how much you talk about it, like I'm curious now. Like I kind of want to read the book. To be honest with you.
yeah, I mean, like, so I never read the original book because it's hard to read because it is in like old type English type
Okay.
thing.
Right. Yeah.
But when I was a kid, like I went to the thrift store with my mom and I found these like smaller, easier to read books
Mhm.
about it, and that's kind of how my whole obsession with it started. Kind of the same
Mhm.
thing with Billy the Kid. I had a whole Billy the Kid
Okay.
stage of my life.
I love Billy the
Um,
Kid. That's why
I did a whole
Young
research
Guns is my
paper on
favorite
him.
Western movie.
I did a whole research paper on him in the 4th grade.
Okay. Did you
That
watch
that
Young
was
Guns
me.
then?
No. Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Okay.
No, I
Okay.
have.
Young Guns
With
1 and
Emilio
2.
Estevez.
Yes. Yes.
I think I've only seen 1.
Oh,
I
you
didn't
need to
know there
watch
was a
2.
2.
First one's the
Okay,
best, but
okay.
there's a 2.
Alright.
And it
Well,
shows Emilio Estevez, like, in prosthetics, and it starts
yeah.
out with him in the early 1900s, very old, telling the story finishing telling the story, of himself, like, yeah.
Well, now I know what I need to do with the rest of my day. Um, but yeah, so anyway, Odyssey, super excited about it. I'm so happy that they're starting filming in production in March because that means that I might get some more news and I might get to see some more things and how they're
Right?
going to do things. I'm really excited about it.
Uh,
But another thing that I'm super excited about and have been super excited about since I've watched it is Knives Out. So you have the third installment of Knives
mhm,
Out, which is called Wake Up Dead Man, which I found out today was actually like originally like a U2 or a Beatles song.
okay.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of actually really cool. It's weird, like fun fact of the day from Tay. Um, but we got to see a first look of it. And you get to see oh shoot, Daniel
Daniel
Craig's
Craig.
character.
Yeah, he's, looks a little different here.
Yeah, something Blanc. Detective Blanc. I can't remember
Yeah.
what his first name was.
I think it's the first time I've ever
Um,
seen Daniel Craig with longer hair, though.
yeah, right. So like you see him with the longer hair, and I'm shoot, dude. I love the accent that he has for this character and the swagger that he gives this character. Um, I know you probably still haven't seen number 2, so you still need to see
I
that,
do. I do need to watch
Glass
that.
Onion.
Yes.
But this is supposed to be coming out in the fall, and, a couple of the people that they have attached to it is Glenn Close, Josh Brolin, and
Okay.
Jeremy Renner.
Oh
Like,
god. Stat
it
cast.
yes, yes, and, I mean, it's been a stacked cast since the first
Right, yeah,
one.
sure, yeah. The first one was
Um
stat cast. I
Right.
love the first one. I can't believe I haven't watched the second yet. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Well, I mean, life happens, so
Yeah.
it's okay. I'll give
Well,
you a
you
pass.
get this mental list of things to watch, and then
Yeah.
you lose half of
So
them.
I'll text you every day. Hey, have you watched Glass Onion
That's
yet?
fine, do it. I'll probably watch it
Especially because
tonight.
you like Janelle Monáe, like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she is like the main person of Glass Onion. Um, dude, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So good.
You gotta watch it so we can talk about it because I would love to talk about it and hear your thoughts and your opinions about it.
I'll watch it tonight.
Okay,
I will.
okay. Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow then because I'll probably be
Works.
sleeping by the time you watch it. Terrifier 4, we got an
Oh.
update because that was a thing that we talked about that the director said that is going to possibly do. And on his birthday, which was on the 29th, he made a post on X.
Mhm.
and he took a picture of the script that we got to see with the blood on it, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." But the little text that he had like above it is like the script for Terrifier 4 is in the works, and it's shaping up to be the most epic, thrilling, nasty, horrifying, emotionally, and utterly stunning, satisfying conclusion. So he used the word conclusion because we did talk about a couple of months ago that he did
Mhm.
say he wanted to do a 4, but possibly a 5.
Right.
But if he's saying number 4 is going to be the satisfying conclusion,
Yeah.
sounds like 4 is going to be it. But we're also going to apparently actually get to see Art's like origin. So Art the clown,
Okay. Okay.
his actual origin of how the fuck we got here. Like,
E and even though I'm, like, not super into this, like, I'm
yeah.
invested. So, like, I'm already invested in this, like, I have to know. So
Yeah, I mean, like, I wanna know how that like, how this all happened, and, it's the same guy that did, like, the writing and directing,
Mhm.
for all 3 of them now, and he's doing the 4th one, and, um, I'm happy that it's the conclusion,
Yeah.
and we're not gonna have to worry about a number 5 and
Yeah.
how far off the deep end that goes, um, so yeah, this will probably be something I'll go watch, in the drive-in theater because that was definitely a drive-in theater type movie that I
Yeah.
enjoyed watching.
Yeah, and speaking of, horror and slashers films, I guess,
Yeah.
all you Scream fans out there are probably excited about this, but also probably have questions. So, Matthew Lillard is confirmed to be returning to Scream 7.
Mhm.
That being said, we see Matthew Lillard, I think, get killed with his head getting smashed by a TV, I thought. So I'm not sure how he's going to be returning, but this is to release February 27th, 2026.
Mhm.
Seems like every week we're getting a little tidbit information and stuff coming out about this.
Yeah.
So yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Matthew Lillard's character got
I can't
killed
correct you
by
because
TV.
I've
Well, people
never
in the comments,
watched
I'm sure will. So
the yep, yeah, I don't
yeah.
know. So, like, I do know that, like, he apparently did some type of teaser,
Hmm.
or video or something to release this. I never got to actually see the video, but apparently it was, like,
Huh.
a little cute thing that he did. And it was, like, something that people were raving about, but, he was in the original first one, right?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. He's from the very first Scream.
Yeah, so, it's that's a thing. It's a
Yeah.
thing. That's
I'm
like a
curious. Like I said,
or
his character got killed, so curious how he's
maybe
coming back.
maybe this is, like, doing was it in the first one that he got killed, or was it, like
I think so. I
um,
didn't watch all the Screams, but I think his character got killed in the first one. If it wasn't the first one, it might have been the
I
second.
don't know. People
I
in the
honestly,
comments let us
I'm not a
know,
huge
like,
Scream fan.
we might be completely wrong, I don't know, but, the only way to know
Yeah.
is if you if you, Google it or, have people who've watched the movie, so, yeah, I don't remember, I don't even know if I've ever seen a Scream. I think I've seen a Scream, at least one.
I've definitely seen the first one. But yeah.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this before,
Mhm,
and we know there's Oscar Isaac's going to be Victor Frankenstein in the new series, and we've showed like clips from it in the middle of filming, but we get
mhm,
our first official picture of him as Victor Frankenstein,
mhm.
and man, I cannot wait for this. Like I love
So
Oscar Isaac,
right.
and this
So
comes out
something
in November 2025 on
yeah,
Netflix.
yeah.
Hmm.
So something that I didn't know is that this is actually going straight, like, to Netflix.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, remember how, like, a couple of, like, episodes ago, I was like, there's The Bride, and then you
Hmm.
have Frankenstein that they're doing as well, and,
Right.
The Bride is like a Meg Ryan or something, um,
I'm not sure.
like, it's a Meg something. I might Megan Gyllenhaal, maybe? I don't know. It was one of
Maggie
the
Gyllenhaal.
maybe. I think that might be it. Um, I don't remember because that was a couple of months ago. But they're doing the Bride of
Mm,
Frankenstein, and then we're getting this, which aren't tied together. But I love Guillermo del Toro's. Um, I mean, just the way that he directs. Like, I
mhm,
don't know if you saw the Cabinet of Curiosities that he got to do on Netflix, but it's also a very
mm,
good show. Um, Kind of makes you think and stuff, and not. all of the episodes are tied together. I didn't end up finishing that series because I got distracted with like all the things that were happening in December. But it was definitely like good, and it was gruesome and kind of horror-y. So
Nice.
continuing our horror news, right?
Yeah, I'll have to
Because
check
this is
that out.
probably going to be on that horror. So I'm excited to see Oscar Isaac
Yeah, I just
play
love
this
Oscar
role.
Isaac in general. So,
Yeah, I mean like him as Moon Knight
oh
was
yeah, peak.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Also, when are we gonna get to see that again? But anyway, um, I think that he's gonna be able to play Frankenstein really well.
mm,
So I'm excited to see his role in that.
for sure.
Yeah. But something else that's a Netflix like original is Squid Games. So Squid Games just ended season 2 couple of weeks ago. I talked about it, said that it was amazing. It really is just a lead up to season 3.
Mm,
So now Squid Game season 3, we actually got a final release date of June 27th.
nice.
So it's not too far away, which is great because it leaves you on an extreme cliffhanger of what the fuck. There's only 7 episodes. It felt like a very short season. And
Hmm.
then you're just like sitting there like, I waited like 4
I s
years for number 2 to come out, season 2 to come
That's how
out.
long it was?
I it I think so.
Oh, wow. That's wild. I think you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I don't remember when the original came out, but it was a long time because I remember watching it, I think either right before Korea or while I was at Korea, and I was in Korea, I think 2021.
Hmm.
I want to say 2021, but anyway, um, that's neither here nor there. But like I remember, yeah, because it was before I was, yeah. Okay, cool. So in Squid Games, like there in the first season, there's a game where they have to like lick this like
Yeah, the cook
pastry type thing.
mhm,
Yeah. And then like cut out
without
the
breaking
shape
it.
or whatever. Right. They had like just those in Korea because it's a very Korean thing, and they were just like, and I saw it and I remember thinking like, oh yeah, I remember seeing those. So it was cool to see it in the trailer and then see it in real life or in the actual like game. So yes, it had to have been like 4 years. But anyway, finally got a release date for that, and I'm excited
This is
to.
the final game.
Yes, well, I mean, it's part of the final game. Hopefully,
Ah.
it's a final season.
Oh, okay.
Now, if it's like the final game, there's like some speculation as to if the player 465 or whatever his name is,
Hmm.
um, if he's going to become the new head guy
Hmm.
and start ruling over the games, and if it's just a constant
Right.
cycle,
Mm.
kind of like Nosferatu. But yeah,
We got some, let's see, House of the Dragon news.
yes,
So oh, man, James Norton from Flatliners: A
hmm
Little Woman gets cast as Ormond Hightower for House of the
yeah,
Dragon season 3, which is coming out in 2026.
hmm yeah.
So, I've
I
seen
mean,
Flatliners. It's been a minute since I've seen Flatliners. That's a movie, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It
yeah.
was the remake of the movie, so it wasn't the original. It's the one with Nina Dobrev,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
is
No,
in
I've
Vampire
that's
Diaries.
yeah,
Oh,
that's the
okay,
one I've seen is the remake then.
I've seen both.
Okay, gotcha.
The one with Kevin Bacon that was like an '80s movie,
Yeah,
and
no, I've not seen that one.
okay.
That's wild too
Um,
because I love Kevin Bacon from the '80s, so
I mean, Kevin Bacon was like in everything, and that's why you had the
that's
6
true.
degrees
Yeah.
of Kevin Bacon. Um, or at least like there's only so many people that were actors back then.
Right, yeah.
Now it's like a whole sea.
Yeah.
Um, but I like that we're getting news about House of the Dragon just
Mm,
because that means that the ball is really rolling. Like we're
yeah.
going.
I'm ready for it.
Because just like Squid Games, um, House of the Dragon also left you on that cliffhanger of season 2 where it just felt like
Mm,
it's a build up to season 3. So
right.
at least with Squid Games, we get an answer sooner. But I would love to just know what's going to be happening. and House of Dragon. House of the
And
Dragon.
it's funny. Last week you mentioned you, and I haven't talked about it. And then this week we have some new news for it.
We do. So they had a little teaser trailer where you got to see Joe in his room, the humidifier type room where he had, yes, that room that he's like in front of. It's a room where they were keeping like all of the old books because it has to be
Hmm.
kept at a certain temperature for the books not to fall apart and all of that cool old people like nerd stuff. Um, but like that's like where he was hiding the bodies because he was keeping the bodies in there because it was kept at a certain temperature so they weren't decomposing as fast until he had something like a time to do it. So in in this little teaser, like he was standing there and he was doing like a monologue to like a phone, and he was like, hello you, and then like the last thing, like after he said like a couple of things, he said goodbye you. And it's really sweet because like it's the end of you, it's the fifth and final season.
Hmm.
um and this is coming out on April 27th. So I loved the first season of You. My husband's currently rewatching it right now because I was talking about it, and he was just like, "Oh,
I'm
I
about to
gotta go
start it.
rewatch it." Yeah, you do. Mm.
Yeah, I'm about to start
Yes.
it.
Okay. So, in order of things, what was the other movie that we said that you had to watch just now that I've complete? Oh, Glass Onion. Yes.
Glass Onion.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So, this is coming out before Glass Onion. So,
Okay.
if you want to watch You and then
Okay.
Glass Onion, or if you just want to watch like a movie that has a definitive ending,
Hmm.
Glass Onion.
Gotcha.
Um,
Well, I may watch Glass Onion tonight, and then I'll start you tomorrow. So
see, there you go.
yeah.
You got plans. Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, we also get a Righteous Gemstones teaser. Righteous Gemstones fourth and final season, March 9th.
mm-hmm.
We get this picture here.
Yes, where so they had a whole like actual teaser where you hear baby Billy talking about teen Jesus or teen Jis. Um and he was like pitching the movie because or the series or whatever, because
Hmm.
that's what baby Billy does, is that he's always asking for money for his next scheme. So in the past season it was baby Billy's Bible Bonkers. And the season before that it was like for a church or something that he was starting up. um
So I'm almost done with the first season, I think, or I just finished. I can't remember now because it was like a couple weeks ago, and I haven't
yeah,
watched more. But
yeah,
like you got me to finally watch it. You were on me and on me and on me, and
yeah.
once I started watching, I, I I
It's
laughed from start
wild.
to finish. It's
It's a
crazy,
whole ride.
but literally
um
from every episode from start to finish, you laugh the whole time.
yeah,
Like it's so freaking funny.
yeah. And John Goodman, or their dad.
Yeah.
So you got to see him also in this trailer, but he has since retired. Like at the end of the last season that we got
Okay.
to see, season four,
Okay.
he like finally gave up the mantle. It took him a really long time, and you'll
Who did
see
he
that.
pass it on? Oh, don't tell me. Never mind. I don't ruin it.
I ain't saying
Yeah,
shit.
I got so many
uh,
questions. Like I just need to keep watching.
yes. So like he finally like retired, and he's like living on that boat, and
Uh-huh.
that's why the kids are there, or to go visit their dad. Um, Jesus, like I love Righteous Gemstones so much. I'm so sad that it's ending.
Yeah.
I am happy that they're ending like on a high note or whatever. Um, but I just like I have so many questions. I have so many thoughts. You know, you got to see Keith and so many people in this teaser, and it just like brought back so many memories of watching this, and I can't wait. I can't wait for this season to come out. And that's going to be March 9th. So I mean, it's a month away.
Oh
So
man, I need a mm. When did you say you comes out?
April
April.
27th.
Okay,
Yeah.
I may pair them up. I may watch those at the same time, and then
Yeah.
that
I mean, they're
that'd
very
be
different, so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
that'd
like
be
you're gonna
very
get your
easy to
wires crossed on that.
it'd be very easy to watch both of them and follow both of them easily.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
some more exciting Toxic Avenger news. Gets to August 29th release date.
Yeah,
So we knew it got talked about getting a theatrical release finally. We now have a
from this
theatrical
year,
release
yeah,
date, Labor Day weekend, August 29th. And it gets a 92% Rotten Tomato score. As
damn
we all
near
know, we
perfect.
don't nearly go by Rotten Tomatoes, but if you
But
score
this one
pretty high on Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, you know, we're gonna go ahead and mention it, especially for this movie since it's been out there
yeah,
in cinema limbo, just waiting to be viewed.
and and we're super excited about it.
Oh God, yeah,
Like I said,
yeah.
I watched Toxic Avenger,
Mm-hmm.
years ago, back when I was first living in Vegas, like 5 years ago. And now I'm just, like, so excited to rewatch it because you get Peter Dinklage and his name in it is Toxie. Like, it's so adorable. I can't wait. It's a comedy. It's a dark comedy is what it says, and
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
And again, like if you want to hear a little bit more details about it, go back and watch our celebrity interview with Spencer Wilding, who's in it. He talks
Yeah.
about a little bit of it and how they filmed it and stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah,
And also on
I'm excited.
IMDb they have like a little trailer, like a little
Oh yeah,
trailer.
yeah, great. Hmm.
So, definitely, like, if you're interested and you wanna know more, check it out.
I'm here to see it, so
Yeah.
we'll definitely review it once it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, so Little House on the Prairie, something I haven't seen in a long time.
That's because it
Michael,
hasn't been out for a really long
right?
time.
What I'm saying, like, I mean, it's replay. You see stuff come back and replay and circulate. Michael Landon, original, was Little House on Prairie, but so there's apparently a remake debut coming to Netflix, and Jason Bateman started his career on the original show. You said,
Yeah, it's a fun fact. I'm all
ah,
about my fun facts today, apparently,
what was
so
he the boy on
he
there?
was yeah, he was a kid.
Oh God, okay, okay. So
Yeah.
I wonder if he's gonna play a part in this remake then at all.
I don't know. So, it literally just got announced. There's no date, there's
Mhm,
no, like, anything attached to this.
right?
There's a lot of controversy actually right now going on about it.
Why?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't
What's controversial about Little House on the
I
Prairie?
I don't know because 'cause I've never seen it. Like, I know it's on
I'm gonna
Peacock
go.
right now streaming,
Oh
and
yeah. Well, I mean, the book was read. We had to read the book in school, public
I didn't even
school.
know there was a book.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a book, Little House on the Prairie. Lori Ingalls Wilder. Uh, well,
I had
so
to read
around here, that's a book that's read in elementary school. So,
so my elementary school books were Old Yeller,
yep, we read those.
Where the Red Fern Grows.
That's another one we read too. This should have
What's
been to
that?
that list.
See, I don't know.
Huh.
This isn't yeah, this wasn't,
Okay, okay.
on there. But yeah, this, like, I don't know. Like, I've never seen it. I don't know what the, like, controversy is. Like, people don't want them to remake it, and then one of the actresses from the original is like, I don't know, talking to the person that's supposed to be remaking it or like
Mm,
in charge of remaking it, and she's like
huh.
bashing her online or something. I don't know. I didn't really read it because I don't have time for that toxicity in my life.
Yeah. Well, to
So,
me, this is like just a story, like an old Western story that's just like as simplified and just good as can be. It's crazy that there's this around it now. That's wild. Huh.
I don't know. I guess it depends on like what they portrayed in the original and where we're at right now in our
Yeah.
society, I guess.
Yeah, this is true. Uh, I mean, it's just covered wagon day type, like. But anyways, so last on the list for educated wish entertainment, and I don't know what I've been doing with my life. So I'm sitting here. I've heard of Severance, but I've heard the name in passing. I've never like had anybody around me talk about it.
Mm,
And we watch New Rock Stars, both of us here. We love them, but then out of nowhere, New Rock Stars starts doing weekly breakdowns of season 2 of Severance. I'm like, that's weird. Like this is nothing compared to like covering what they normally do. So I'm
yeah.
like, okay, my curiosity spiked. what is it? It's on Apple TV, or
Mhm.
if you have Prime, you can subscribe to Apple TV on Prime. That's what I do. And I
Mhm.
started watching episode 1, season 1, see what it is. Starring it's Michael Scott, Adam Scott, Adam.
You have The Office, and then you have Parks and Rec. He's the
The
Parks and
Office,
Rec version.
yeah, The Office always lose my brain. It's always there. It never goes away. So, anyways, Adam Scott is in this. Also, he's known from a lot of comedy, especially Step Brothers. But let me tell you right now, if you have not watched this and you love WTF stories that keeps you on the edge trying to figure out what the hell is going on,
Mm,
watch this. And I'm talking
yeah,
about the acting, the writing, all of
yeah.
it. I'm talking about this show is mind-blowing. Like
So
I literally have watched I turned it on and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch a couple episodes of this. It's gotta be semi-decent. And I literally watched the whole first season and all 3 episodes of the current second season in 18 hours. I couldn't stop. Like
damn.
it is that good. And like even though we're 3 episodes into the second season and an episode's coming out a week, I think it's every Friday a new episode comes out. I'm still on the edge of my seat wondering what the hell is going on and what are they going to do. So,
So from what I heard, because my
uh,
coworker was talking about it, he was saying that like you have a life outside of work, but then once you get to work, you forget about that life, and then once you leave work, you completely forget about what you did at work.
yeah, so like there's a company called Lumen, and what they do is, I mean, your regular version of yourself, go to work for them, and it's called you become part of the severed. There's part of the company that's not, and there's part of the company that is. Now you fully compliant, like okay, yeah, I want to do this. You sign up for it, and so they drill a hole in your head, and they implant like a capsule thing, and that capsule, what it does is you go in this elevator, you pass through, and when you get to the floor to work your memories of your whole entire life are gone.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you're still intelligent, but you have no memories of who you are or who your life or what your life is outside of that building. So
Right.
you work your 8 to 5, you go 5, get back in the elevator, your memories come back, and you have no memories of your work life.
Right. And the
So it
reason why this is interesting is because the main guy, he had a
mhm,
wife that
that
they said
died.
died,
Yes.
but she's at work.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but
No, that's all I
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Like
yeah. So like,
that's it.
and Adam Scott, reason he agreed to do this was his wife died in a car crash, and he's like he thought maybe by taking his memory away for majority of the day it would help him because he's like not dealing with it well at all, and
Yeah.
he's like maybe this will help not have the memory of her at least through part of my day, and so he can just drink away his life and sleep at night, but then go back to work and not have no memory of it. Well, yeah, in the first season, I know it's been out for a while, so yeah, you find out the counselor that's there at his work is his wife. And what's wild is he ID'd the body at the car wreck, at the car crash and everything, and like they
Mhm.
had a funeral and everything. So, but we still don't know how this is possible. It still hasn't told us into the second season. And like, what's also wild in the first at the last episode of the first season is this woman that comes in. She's like, even though her memory's gone, she's like, something's not right here. They're not doing this. Isn't right. And so they end up teaming up together, 4 people, and they're trying to figure out how to expose this place and find out what's going on. Because like if you do something wrong, they make you go to a room called the break room, hook you up to a lie detector, and have you read a script apologizing. And after you get done reading it, if it shows you're lying and you're not truly sorry, they make you say it over and over with a polygraph until it reads that you're being honest and you truly are sorry for what you did.
Jesus.
And like one person was in there for 2 days and they said it 1,076 times before. Yeah. Yeah. But like there's so many still things you're wondering, like, what is this company doing? But the girl who is like trying to help and expose this deal, they find a way to turn on their brains from being inside the office while they're on the outside. She finds out she's the daughter of the owner of the company that's actually leading this company and pushing this.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like, the guy, it's got a great cast. The guy from the first Transformers that plays the like the CIA agent guy, I can't remember what or whatever agent.
Oh, the guy with
He's
the
funny.
Superman boxers?
Yeah, yeah, he's in it. Yeah. But I'm telling you, this show is incredible. It is
Okay.
incredible. Like you have to freaking watch it. And a new episode of that, yeah, comes out every Friday. And oh man, I have 2 shows now: Dexter on Fridays and Severance. But you need to watch it. Like, everybody needs to watch it. It's that
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
I think it's the first time I've seen Adam Scott play a serious role too, and he does a really good job.
That's good to
Oh,
know, though. Like,
yeah.
that's awesome. I love him and
Yeah.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah. I love him as Step Brothers too. But you ready to talk to us about some latest gaming news?
Yes. All right. So, a couple of months ago, or maybe weeks ago, I was talking about how there are games that were previous just Xbox are now coming to PlayStation and Steam. So, Forza Horizon 5 is a game that came out in Xbox back in November 9th, 2021. I used to play Forza 4 on Xbox when I had an Xbox One.
Mhm.
Uh, but this game is actually coming to PS5 this spring. So it's an open world racing game. I love the graphics of one, so um, we'll see like how much it is, and I'll probably actually end up getting it probably at some point because I did really enjoy Forza. It did remind me a lot of Midnight Club 3, where you
Mm.
got to just skirt around. And I was like in Italy or something. I was just like just driving around in the really beautiful architecture. So yeah,
Skirt,
super
skirt.
excited about that. Skirt skirt. With two hands apparently too. Skirt skirt.
Yeah.
But anyway, the the next thing that I wanted to talk about is this Summer Game Fest 2025. So this has been a thing for 5 years now. It started in 2020. It used to
Okay.
be like E3 or something, and they changed it to this. So on June 6th, it's going to be streaming on YouTube. Um, and I think a bunch of their other like streaming platforms, but it's going to be
Mhm.
specifically at the YouTube theater in Los Angeles,
Okay.
is where this is going to take place. But for June 6th, that's like it's going to be streaming from there, and it's supposed to have like all of the newest like game stuff, like where things are headed to. This is like the last time that we saw anything like come out of it. Like last year, we got to get some updates for. Oh my god, my eyeball. Sorry. Um, Last year we got some updates for Black Ops 6 from this. So it comes
Okay.
out like every year around the same time. So June 6th is when it starts, and that I think is the only day that's streaming. Although I did see that on their website they did have like all 3 days,
Mhm.
or 4 days rather, because it goes to the 9th. And they have a kind of like a game show, like not game show, but like a game awards
Hmm.
that they do like after that sometimes. I didn't really see any like trophies or anything, or like
Right.
prize, like when you get an Emmy or Oscar, you have the guy like holding the globe or whatever,
Sure.
or Golden Globe, I guess is what that one was. The Oscar is the guy like that's like standing like a mummy, like weirdly. But anyway, you have this happening in Los Angeles, and there's usually a Xbox like specific area or a showcase as well as a Ubisoft. Um, so like definitely expect to see updates for games like split screen or split something that I talked about a couple of months ago. Um, the game that's like split screen and one's light and one's dark, and you're
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
co-op, the couch co-op thing.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, they have like special guests that are supposed to be there too. So you don't really know what you're gonna get until it happens, but
We'll
it's
definitely be
probably
covering it once it comes out.
absolutely, yeah. There's gonna be some good stuff that comes out of it. So if you have time, yeah, definitely watch it. But if not, then we'll cover it all the way out in June.
Nice. Well, that's pretty much all for gaming, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Alright,
You ready to get some con?
let's do it. So, Missouri Con, February 15, 16, 2025 this year in Springfield. That's Springfield Expo.
Mhm.
Uh, we have a pretty good list of celebrities there, but as we always do, just picked our top five. So Chris Potter, who plays the original voice of Gambit from the X-Men 90s series and Cable,
Mhm.
will be there. And then he don't play Gambit in the X-Men 97, but I think he still plays Cable's voice.
Yeah.
Then we also have John Snyder, Bo Duke, and Clark Kent's dad from Smallville being there, and Rose McGowan from Charmed. For all you Charmed fans, had a pretty hard fan base out there, so I'm sure there'd be a lot of people there for her.
Is there a gun on her leg?
Yeah, that's hang on, I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
Tom Kenny, voice of SpongeBob, and plenty of other characters that everybody knows and loves. And
Mm.
then Keith David, voice of Goliath from Gargoyles, and a whole bunch of other things, will also be there. But yeah, so that gun on her leg, I think that's a Tarantino movie.
That is wild.
Yeah. So that was a picture. I'm pretty sure it was a Tarantino movie. It's like one of them wild movies. I can't. I used to be able to tell you what the title of that movie was.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
Um, but yeah, I saw that and I was like, "Wait a second.
Yeah,
Am I like?"
I'm actually gonna look it up because like, what was that movie? But yeah, out of all of those, like, I would love to. I've actually already got Chris Potter's autograph on a framed Gambit picture. But Keith
Mm.
David, I've wanted to meet that guy for a long time for the voice of Goliath.
Super iconic voice.
Yeah, that movie's from Planet Terror. It's a Rodriguez film, is what it is. So
Said Planet Terror?
yeah, it's
Okay. Ah.
it, it
I
it's a
mean, given
it's got its own cult following. Robert Rodriguez does, but yeah.
so is it like detachable and like does she walk around
I
with
can't
no le
remember. I can't remember, to be honest with you.
or does it like
Uh,
sheath back into a leg, like, so she can walk
so many
on the
questions.
gun? I have yes, I have the questions now because
Just
that
watch it and tell me what you think about it.
no, I'm good. I'm cool.
I don't think
I
I've
got
ever seen the
other
whole thing. I've just seen clips of it. It was
okay.
not something that really caught my interest, but yeah. Yeah, Missouri Con, uh, February 15th and 16th. So
Yeah, so right after, Captain America: Brave New
yeah,
World comes out. Yeah.
yep, for sure. But yeah, that wraps us up from this week. Is there anything that we might have forgotten?
Did you have a panel that you were interested in attending for the Missouri Con?
Oh yeah. God, I can't believe I forgot that. Yeah, so there's a few panels that they have to offer for Missouri Con, and one of them's by a cosplayer, and it's muscle suit basics, tips, and tricks. I don't typically have any plans of cosplaying for a fake muscle suit, but I think like if someone was to do like Shazam, which was kind of more comic, comedic in the doing the muscle suits like Zachary Levi did. I
Mm,
am curious to see like how to make a good one,
yeah.
because it could be a fun cosplay for comedic reasons. So yeah, I think that would intrigue me. That's the one I would pick to go see because I am curious like how those are made, or at least like how he would show that they're made. From I'm sure it's probably a little different than what you get in Hollywood, but
Yeah, and I mean, like, honestly, like, we always get great tips from, people that we interviewed that do cosplay,
mhm,
like, shoot, Seattle's Beauty and, Superman Fit.
yeah.
Both of them gave us, like, great, like, some tips on that,
Where Superman Fit just has the real muscles. He don't need the the muscle suit.
but he still had, like, other,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
ideas and like Seattle's Beauty, she was talking about the shell for
Mhm.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
Yeah,
shell, like backpack thing that she made, and I was like, that's so cool. Like
it
I
was.
would never
It
think
looked pretty
about
good too.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, like if it's something, even if it isn't something, like if you could like find some tips for like that and maybe use it as part of like your leg muscles rather than your arm
Mhm.
muscles and
Right.
or maybe just even finding a new, type of fabric or,
Yeah.
something like, it's because it's probably a molding something that you have to do. I don't know. or maybe it's just foam. I don't know.
I have no idea. That's why I'm like, I want to attend this panel because I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah.
Did you see a panel that interested you on the list?
So yeah, they have one on the 15th, and it's like their first panel of the day, and it's talking about like making Disney magic,
Hmm.
um, and kind of like the diversity of Disney.
Okay.
Um, so that would be something that I would go to because I mean, from watching like the newer movies that have so much of a meaning to me are like Coco, Enchanted,
Yes.
even Big Hero 6, like, and those like are very diverse movies from
Hmm.
what we've been seeing from what I grew up with, you know? Um, so I think going to that panel would be something that would be very emotional for me.
Right.
Uh, and sometimes that's what I'm looking for. So that's where
Heck
I'm
yeah.
sitting today is like with that
Oh,
sounds
it's
like
Disney without emotional stuff. So like that's to me, that's what
you
makes
remember
half of
Up?
Disney great.
Did you
Oh
cry
God,
during
yeah,
Up? Because I what
yeah,
I'm not even gonna lie. I
yeah,
cried.
yeah.
I cried.
And it's not the only Disney movie that's made me tear up. So yeah,
Coco
no,
made me
that
yeah.
would be a great one. Oh, I
Yeah.
love Encanto too.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the one that I was like that would be the panel that I would go to. But that's it for me.
Yeah, Big Hero 6, that teared me up.
What part when
Oh, his brother dying.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know cuz you also have that whole scene with like the dad and his daughter. So I don't know cuz
hmm,
like you got a kid. So, you know,
right,
like
right, yeah.
is that a thing? I don't know. Like
No, I just
sometimes
I just didn't expect at the beginning, like, you see him and his brother, how close they are because their aunt's raising them, and
Mhm.
then, like, his brother dies at the beginning, it's like, "Oh god." Like, that went dark real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Disney likes to
Uh,
do that sometimes.
it does. It pulls at our heartstrings.
It
It
really
gets
does.
us emotionally invested, though. That's how they keep
Yeah.
us hooked. But, yeah, so now that's officially it for this week. So,
Yes.
catch everybody next week.
Peace.